Hello everybody! Welcome to another episode of Sieglin's Proving Grounds. Today I am here once again on the Warrior, very excited to do these videos. This time I'm on Fury. This video in particular is single-minded Fury. However, um, I will do a Titan's Grip video if one is requested. I do not mind doing that. The only reason I'm not doing it right now is because both my one-handers are enchanted. And while I have two-handers at the very least, only one of them is enchanted because this one I'm actually going to be disenchanting it. I'm not an enchanter on this tune, but I have an enchanter on this realm. I just hold on to my blues until I have a lot, and then I'm like, okay, find someone who has an enchanter set and disenchant all this stuff. Send it to my enchanter. That's what I do. So that's why I have this two-hander. But I do have other two-handers available, I think. Just none of them are enchanted. That's why I'm doing single-minded Fury. So there's really no difference between the two either. I think the only difference is that Titan's Grip performs better slightly at higher eye levels. Which, if that's the case, then in our situation here, where our eye level is normalized, I think it's kind of like in the 600 range, then single-minded Fury would be better, just by a little bit. It's really small difference between the two. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into talents and glyphs. A lot of the talents, like I said in the arms video, are personal preference. You can use anything in level 15 row and it'll be viable. Level 30 row is defensive. Level 45 row, I would recommend either Unquenchable Thirst or Sudden Death. The reason I wouldn't recommend Furious Strikes is because with Unquenchable Thirst, you have unlimited rage anyway, and you're always enraged. Whereas with Furious Strikes, you pretty much just have unlimited rage, because, it's all going towards Wild Strike, and it's fast, you're using a lot of Wild Strikes, which is good, but you're not necessarily enraged. Whereas Unquenchable Thirst, you can just press Bloodthirst until you're enraged, and at that point, you're rage capped probably anyway. I like Sudden Death though because it's what I'm used to. It's easy to use. It also lines up with your burst pretty well. I find myself able to use it just about every time I pop Bloodbath or Recklessness. So that's nice. For level 60, I would recommend Stormbolt. Shockwave is not that good right here because there's always 2 or more enemies, yes, and usually 3 or more enemies that you can attack, but they're not close enough together for Shockwave to hit all of them. So you'll never get that cooldown reduction down to 20 seconds. And it does less damage than Stormbolt when you think about it, because Stormbolt does quadruple damage against targets immune to stun, which I'm pretty sure the Shower are immune to stun, so they take quadruple damage from it, aka they take about 12,000 damage from Stormbolt. Whereas Shockwave does almost 6,000 damage every 40 seconds. Stormbolt's doing 12,000 damage every 30 seconds. Did I say 30 seconds for Shockwave? Because I meant 40 if I said 30. Of course, with Anger Management, those numbers are kind of down to, for Stormbolt, 27 seconds, and for Shockwave, 35 seconds, but obviously, the point remains that Stormbolt is just more damage. Level 75 row is useless for our purposes here. Level 90 row, I would recommend Avatar. I'm not in Avatar, though. I'm in Bloodbath. I just like Bloodbath. And I'll demonstrate why I like it, definitely, in these waves. Especially in conjunction with Anger Management, because Bloodbath is such that you can use it twice in one wave. I've done it before. It's not difficult to do, especially in those longer waves. But yeah, and for level 100, I would recommend Anger Management over everything else. Siegebreaker is junk, even though it does a lot of damage. It's on a 45-second cooldown, and it replaces your Intimidating Shout, which is actually useful in the Proving Grounds. If only once. And Ravager, same problem as Shockwave. The things aren't close enough together for Ravager to hit a lot of enemies. And it only lasts 10 seconds and is on a 1-minute cooldown, which doesn't get reduced if you're not in Anger Management. And that also means for if you're not in Anger Management, nothing else gets reduced. So Anger Management is definitely the way to go. And then for glyphs, there's really not many DPS increasing glyphs for Fury, actually. It's strange, but the only things I can really recommend are Root Interruption. You'll be able to use this just about on cooldown every single wave. Glyph of Bull Rush. While Fury does not have a problem with generating rage, this is really the only other option you have. I mean, you can go with Unending Rage, probably, but I don't really think that increases the number of wild strikes you can use. So I don't really think Unending Rage would be a huge difference. And then Glyph of Raging Wind, because it it's just, if we're going straight damage increase here, which we are, because it's Proving Grounds, we're not taking any damage at all, then this actually does have a place here, because you can use Whirlwind on most of the waves and, you know, get away with it. And the other thing is that Whirlwind and Raging Blow actually work well together, because with this glyph, because with Whirlwind, you know, you can use it and get stacks of Meat Cleaver, so you can use Raging Blow to strike multiple enemies at the same time, and it's actually a really nice AoE. And then, you know, if you're using those Raging Blows after you generate the Meat Cleaver stacks, then your next Whirlwind is going to do more damage. So it's just more AoE damage, basically. It's not necessary, though. If you want to use something else, definitely get rid of Glyph of Raging Wind. This is just the best that I could come up with. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Proving Grounds Gold. I'm going to use Bloodbath on this first wave here to show kind of why I think it's pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start off with killing the Slayer right there, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Amber Weaver. I'm going to interrupt his Globule because I do want the 6% damage increase, and it really doesn't matter if... it really wouldn't have mattered if I interrupted or not, because he would have died before the Globule even came out, so there would have been no point in letting him cast it, even for the damage increase from there. I just got the Root Interruption so I could use it on the Slayer. For this wave, I'm going to go ahead and start off on the Banana Tosser. I'm going to instantly... oh, come on. That's right. I tried to use Stormbolt there, but I actually have a macro for Stormbolt, and so that kind of screwed it up. I wanted to Stormbolt the Banana Tosser so he wouldn't get away, but I had it macroed to... Here, I'll show you the macro. It casts it at Arena 1, because I do PvP. So instead of, you know, stunning the Banana Tosser, I was trying to stun Arena 1, which doesn't exist here. So for this wave, I'm going to go ahead, start off on the Banana Tosser. I'm going to pop Bloodbath again here so I can take out this Mystic quickly, especially because now he's got the Globule on him. I did interrupt him when the Banana Tosser was still up, just so I could get the Glyph of Interruption damage. And yeah, after I killed the Mystic, I switched to the Amber Weaver. And I don't know if you saw, but I was able to use Heroic Leap and go through the Globule and not get hit by it. That's a really nice perk of Heroic Leap. So for this wave, I actually am going to get off a Stormbolt on the Banana Tosser. And this is mostly so I can interrupt the Mystic when he starts casting, which he did. And I did manage to interrupt that. And then the Banana Tosser goes down shortly after that. I'm going to have Bloodbath in a couple seconds here. I'm going to go ahead and use it on the Mystic. Interrupt him to get that refresh on Root Interruption. And there goes the Mystic. For this next wave, there's going to be 3 Guardians spawning around the outside. I'm just going to focus them down one by one, and then in the middle there will be a Banshee spawning every so often, and I got to take that Banshee out. There he is, before the bomb over his head goes off, because if that bomb over his head goes off, then I lose my progress and I have to start over. I'm going to go ahead and stun the Guardian here, just so I don't really have to worry too much about his where he's locating his defense, but it doesn't even matter. And I did use Whirlwind there, just to get some cleave damage going, and as you saw, the Guardian went down when I used Raging Blow, so that's why Whirlwind and Raging Blow work well together. I could have used more Whirlwinds in that wave, to be honest, but didn't really think of it. Am I really gonna... Okay, thought not. Okay, so... Oh, come on! For this wave, I wanted a Heroic Leap into the center of the Vermin. Obviously that didn't happen. Oh my god, they just all kind of died. So I popped Bloodbath on the Vermin. And the reason you want to go for the Vermin first is because the mystics will heal the vermin instead of themselves. Obviously, the vermin don't have as much health as the mystics, so it's not that big of a deal if the vermin get healed. Actually thought I had charge off cooldown there, that's why I used heroic leave, because I was just going to charge back to the mystic, but obviously not paying too much attention to my cooldowns here. And yeah, then the last vermin, as you saw, he got healed by the mystic, and then killed the mystic, killed the vermin, no big deal. For this next wave, I'm going to start off with the my fear on the mystic right here, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to the banana tosser. I'm going to pop bloodbath because I need to get this banana tosser down quickly before the mystic is out of his CC. So now the mystic is out of CC. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt him. For the obvious reason of I don't want him to heal the Guardian, and for my Glyph of Root Interruption. And then I had to take out that Banshee, even though the Guardian was stunned by the Globule. But then I took the Guardian out shortly after that, and I'm taking out, then I took out the Mystic. And now here, I'm going to go ahead and take out the Banshee. I wanted to get a couple hits in on the Amber Weaver, just because I knew it would be a little bit before the Banshee popped up. And I did get a couple hits in, but it really, doesn't make a difference. Amber Weaver goes down without a problem, so does Banshee. For this wave, I'm going to start off by killing the 2 Amber Weavers here. Not going to pop Bloodbath yet. There's really no point. Should have interrupted that Globule, because wasn't able to kite it into him anyway. But doesn't matter. He's dead. So is the other Amber Weaver. So now, the Shah is taking 50% reduced damage. I'm going to attack him through the shield. Ideally, I want to get him to about 85%. That makes it pretty easy to kill him after his shield goes down. That means I got the DPS for him, usually. It's a pretty good indicator, I should say, that you have the DPS to take him down after his shield falls. What I'm going to do now is just pull my Rage, and I get that Raging Blow. So I'm enraged. I'm going to go ahead and use another Bloodbath to get another Enrage, so I can get 2 stacks of Raging Blow. Pop Bloodbath as well, I don't know if I mentioned that. Obviously just using Wild Strike as filler and Raging Blow whenever I enrage. Shaw's down to 20%, so I'm just going to give him a nice fat execute. He's going to go down. For this next wave, there's going to be a Mystic spawning right where my cursor is. I'm going to go ahead and fear him, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Banana Tosser. Outside of the sphere, when the sphere ends, I should say, I'm going to go ahead and stun the Mystic, so I don't have to worry about interrupting his heal. I could have done that differently. I could have just gone ahead and interrupted his heal anyway and just dealt with it like that, but I wanted to just focus as much as I could on the Banana Tosser, take him down, and then the Mystic goes down, no problem. Now I have the Banshee to take care of, and he goes down, no problem as well. I have 12 seconds left on the the Shah's shield here, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Blood Surge proc just because I know I'll get another one. The shield's about to go down, so I'm going to go ahead and pop Bloodbath. There's my next Blood Surge proc. Just like I said, I had 2 stacks of 2 charges of Raging Blow at the start there to use, and I just kept using Raging Blow as I enraged more and more. And the Shah goes down with a nice juicy execute. For this next wave, I'm going to go ahead and start off with grabbing Berserking and then charging the Shah. Just going to spawn right in the middle. He's a big guy, can't miss him. And the reason, even though he has his shield up, the reason I'm grabbing Berserking is because obviously 80% damage is better than 50% damage. And I have 2 Berserking things up, so there's really no point in not using one anymore. So, yeah. I just want to get him down to about 85%. Because as I said with the last wave, it makes it very easy to bring down the Shah if you get him down that low. So, saved up 2 stacks of Raging Blow for this Banshee, because I knew it was coming. Banshee goes down quickly. Now I'm going to save up just more stacks of Raging Blow if I can. I should have saved that Sudden Death proc, but it doesn't matter. There's my 2 stacks of Raging Blow. I'm going to go ahead and pop Recklessness after I pick up Berserking. There's another Sudden Death proc. I didn't enrage with that Bloodthirst, so I'm going to go ahead and use Berserker Rage. And the shot drops below 20%, so I just give him a nice juicy execute. Now all I have to deal with now the only things I have to deal with are the Slayer and Banshee. Banshee goes down, almost one shot, and Slayer goes down quickly after that. Easy peasy. I might have to do a little more practice with Fury before I can make the endless video. Not planning on making endless videos for a while anyway, though, so I guess I'm okay with that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Avatar would have been better, because I actually felt a little iffy on some of the waves with Bloodbath, but I do like guaranteeing that I can use Bloodbath on all the Shaw waves at the end. Um, the only wave I really had trouble with was wave 6, and that was actually because I used I killed all the vermin so early that I wasn't using Whirlwind, because there was really no point in using Whirlwind. I wasn't using Whirlwind when I was killing the Mystics, so I wasn't getting any sort of cleave down on the last vermin. And it was kind of silly that, that actually made a difference, but like killing most of the vermin at the start actually made a difference. But actually, that's a kind of the weird thing about that wave. If you kill the vermin too fast, then you have to deal with both mystics healing each other, which is really bad unless you're a class with a lot of CC, a lot of like easy CC such as a mage. Like warrior probably wouldn't be able to handle that too well. You could probably stormbolt the other mystic while you interrupt the one you're hitting, but it's hard to get that Stormbolt, or you wouldn't be able to reliably do that. Like, let's say you had to do that more than once, you'd only, or, but let's say you had to do that twice, okay? Like, the Mystic is up long enough for them to both heal that Mystic, or try to heal that Mystic twice. Um, you're only going to be able to interrupt the one you're targeting and stun the other one once out of those 2 times. After that, the other one's going to get the heal off, and the one you're focusing is going to get healed the full. Now, I think if they have enough time to cast twice, you're going to fail because you don't have enough DPS anyway, but, it's a weird wave. That's my point here. It's a weird wave because if you kill the guys in the center too fast, you actually screw it up. Which seems silly, because you're in an environment where you want to kill things as fast as possible. But if you kill the wrong guy too fast, you kill the wrong group of guys. If you kill the majority of the wave too fast, you're done for. That's a weird part about that wave, and I almost fell into that trap, but thankfully that last vermin stay alive, so managed to make it through. But that's something to watch out for on that wave. That's why I almost screwed up there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment if this video helped you. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be doing plenty more of these videos. I got one more warrior video at least, and then I will be moving into another class that I haven't decided yet. Probably shaman or something. I don't know. But yeah, do all those things I said, and I will see you in the Proving Grounds.